60 seconds to comply.
I think you'd better do what he says, Mr. Kenny.
You have 60 seconds to comply. This is minute 50. Part man,
Part machine.
all pod.
This minute begins with Robocop closing in on Emil and ends with Emil taking a nap on the bitumen.
I think we should start this with an announcement.
This is Media Break. You give us 3 minutes, and we'll give you the world.
There has been a death in the Robo family. As of recording this, the past week, Michael K. Williams, who played Lewis on the Robocop reboot, has passed away. He is most well known for was it Omar from The Wire?
Yes.
I haven't actually seen The Wire, but
Yeah, I didn't realize he was in The Wire, but I had seen him in bit parts in so many other things, and he always stood out to me. Just went, oh, that guy's so cool. Why was he not the main character? Why was he not Robocop? Why was he not? I think he was in Ghostbusters or something like that.
Yeah, that's it. I've been looking through his list, and it's like, God damn it, he was in Ghostbusters. I think he must be in a Blink and Forget, but yeah, he's got a tremendous amount of credits. He was working literally all the way up until this year.
Yeah, it was really sudden. I don't know if they released a cause of death.
Just looking at the Wikipedia, it's being investigated as a possible drug overdose, but at the time of knowledge, no, I don't think anything's been conclusive.
But yeah, he's great in 12 Years a Slave, Assassin's Creed, a fairly forgettable film except for the soundtrack, and no, that's about it.
He looks like he's been in quite a few forgettable. Well, we've said that in the past that really his Lewis probably should have been the main character.
Yeah.
So what we will about that particular movie, we've been very positive for most of the actors, and yeah, Lewis was a great. We wish he had more screen time, and so.
That's the other thing too, is that they don't really do much with Lewis in this movie. It's just he's kind of the damsel in distress. He's there to motivate the hero. Whereas, yeah, I would have loved to have seen a black Robocop, and B, I think that Michael Williams could have brought something that... I mean, okay, you know what? Roboflag, in other things, with better direction. He's not terrible, but I think Michael Williams had way more charisma just inherently.
Yeah. Well, the director might have beaten that out of him for this, but I don't know. I think Michael K. Williams probably would have stitched him up a treat, and brought it out.
Oh, he's in Lovecraft Country. I need to watch that. It looks dope.
He was in the Incredible Hulk movie with Edward Norton. Apparently has a Harlem bystander. So, I'm just flicking through his credits, and like it's quite amazing just what he was in. Like, all I've heard is good things about him, and wow, I didn't realize he was in The Sopranos. It's been a long time since I watched The Sopranos.
Yeah, he was only 54, but definitely had a very productive life.
So R.I.P. Michael K. Williams, and hopefully we'll have some bit more of Lewis in the upcoming Roboflag minutes. Although honestly, I can't remember even him coming back.
Yeah, I think they pretty much. Well, he got shot. I must avenge him anyway. That's moving on.
Yeah. Anyway, so my first note of this minute is: are clear petrol hoses a thing in America? I tried to have a look around. No, I think this was just a thing they popped on. And also, it's such a gigantic hose as well. So, like, I think it was just a thing they popped on just to really sell the idea of this fuel busting out all over the place.
Yeah, I love those sort of minor details that I didn't notice it the first time I watched it, but it just visually on screen, it just reads differently. It reads in a way that makes it more, in this case, more visceral. There's more impact.
If we weren't going through this minute by minute, it's not something. Oh yeah, it's definitely not something I've ever picked up on. And it's just one of those things that how we're scrutinizing this and looking a bit more up close. I was like, oh yeah, that doesn't make much sense. And I thought, okay, hang on, is that an American thing? But no, apparently not.
But you can also add some American petrol stations, gas stations, if you will.
Yeah.
There's the petrol pumps, but there's also a water one that looks exactly the same almost. And so there's this video that went viral, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I went, okay, what is this? So someone was filming from across the road of this woman, big SUV, and then she seems to be washing her car down with
I've seen that!
the petrol. And everyone's freaking out, go, oh my god, what is she gonna do? It's like, no. If it was petrol, you'd smell it. It doesn't. And it's not clear, so it's a water pump. But, geez, guys, maybe make it look dramatically different from the petrol ones.
Yeah, I remember seeing that video. I'm there going, "Oh God, what the hell?"
Yeah, I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I had to keep researching. And yeah, that's the result I came up with. She was also wiping it with her hands too, which would sting like buggery.
Yeah. Well, I was just there going, I don't know if that's a thing. I've never even heard of that being happen in America. Like, you go...
Well, I should also say that all we can determine is that the people filming were American based on their accents. We don't actually know where it was. So maybe they're American tourists somewhere else.
Or, yeah, maybe. But I was going to say, I've never heard of anyone cleaning their car at a servo that's not a dedicated...
The car wash, so yeah.
Car wash, or, one of those, like a do-it-yourself car wash.
It could be more like water just in case you spill fuel and you can hose it away as a safety thing.
Maybe. I know I've seen people that will use the bucket of water near the petrol pump here, like when they've spilled a bit. I've never bothered, to be perfectly honest.
I did that. It was my first time. Look, the first time's always going to be a bit messy, so...
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of dribble there.
I've pumped a lot in my life, and... and not just the fuel. Anyway, the other detail I love in this is that I meant to bring it up before, but there's like a tire rim, which is a holder for the... I always love that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's just those lovely little details.
I was going to say that Robocop has a bit of a 404 era there, and he's just saying, like, wait, do I know him? Do I? Oh, man, Robocop, you're so relatable right now, where someone's like, oh, I know you, and you're just like, oh, shit, what was your name? Oh, no. Yeah,
I wrote that down as great robo acting. It's God damn it, Well, it just sells this really well, this moment.
He does. It's one of those things where it's a role that a lot of his face is covered, a lot of his body is covered. And right here he's just standing still, and yet he's conveying so much with so little.
Yeah, I mean, his mouth is open and awkward, that kind of like that, what the fuck angle. But yeah, the rest of it is totally body language. Just even the position of the gun, how he slightly tilts, and it's almost that... It's almost like, a little bit cheesy doing the robot, but the emotion's there.
He's slowly dropping the gun, like, oh...
Yeah, like, if this was, like, maybe 10 years later, the internet connecting dial-up sound might have gone on. But,
yeah, I mean, having studied Fassbender's performance very closely for Prometheus and Covenant Minute, to do those really stripped-back performances with all those limitations of costume and what have you, it actually takes a lot more skill than people think it does. I've noticed that. I haven't had too much experience, but I know that actually the less you have to do, the more you have to stand still. It's really hard, because when you're acting, you kind of want to move around and be expressive.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. People kind of don't... Okay, let's face it. A lot of people Robocop's this cheesy action film, so they really don't... They don't perceive a lot of the actual acting that's going on. But I think these are the things that make a movie like this endure as well. If this had been a cheesy robot performance, or Weller was just not selling the crap out of this, we wouldn't be talking about it. It'd just be, it's just a movie.
It has the right degree of sincerity. It is definitely satire. There is comedic moments, but it's never this kind of, wink to the camera. It's really played straight. Yeah.
I feel bad because I do call it like a cheesy... Because it fundamentally is, but
Yeah, but it's not like when oh god, what was that? Kung no, it's not, is it Kung Fury?
the one from on Netflix a few years ago, Kung Fury.
Yeah, Hasselhoff did a song for it. That's the only way I remember it. But
Yeah, I did not like that. It was too cynical.
yes, so that's where that's an example of. I'm gonna just double check it now. What was the other one? Oh god.
Well, for me, with Kung Fury, it was one of those things where, as someone who's doing Kung Pao, in theory, Kung Fury, I don't see a love of the era and the genre as much as I see it in Kung Pao.
Or Turbo Kid. I think Turbo Kid's another one where I think
haven't seen
that
Turbo
one,
Kid.
That does love the genre. There's also another one that came out recently. Oh, I can't remember what it's called, but it's about this sort of demon-esque, kind of 80s fantasy movie villain, and he's adopted by these two kids. He's like a slave to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, god damn it. I keep meaning to watch that. It's got this weird name. It's like Gorman something.
Yes. Gorman.
Oh, god damn it.
Psycho
Yeah.
Gorman.
Psycho Gorman.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I need to watch that.
To save you on all the editing, I'll say. So, there are movies like Kung Fury, Psycho Gorman, Turbo Kid that are very much homages to 1980s cinema.
Mm-hmm.
But I like elements of them, but overall I think they ultimately fail because they're either too cynical, they're too tongue-in-cheek, they're not focusing on telling a cohesive, sincere story. And Robocop stands up because it works on all those levels. It is satire, it is comedy, but there's also a very great story here that is played for all the emotional weight it is worth.
The one the term that came to mind is pathos. There's actually a lot of pathos with this character.
There's a lot of sadness to Robocop, and you can either just brush that off and have fun with a dumb action movie, or you can really, as we do, invest ourselves in the tragedy of Murphy as a character.
So, funnily enough, one of my close friends hadn't seen Robocop, and I finally managed to sit her down and watch it. And I know, I'm doing my duty. It's also, funnily enough, it's the first time I've actually seen Robocop in full since we've started this journey, so almost a year. And so I'm still digging it. They enjoyed it, but it was one of those things they're like, oh yeah, I could just probably put this on the background and watch it. Like, they're younger than me. So it was one of those things where I just don't think it landed, like, because...
Never watched anything in the background, but especially not Robocop.
well, what I mean is, like, because they're watching it as an adult, so not watching it as a kid. It's not necessarily their type of movie, but they still enjoyed it. They still got something out of it. It's like, yeah, I'll watch that again. Maybe if they watched it again, maybe they would actually get more out of it. It's always a possibility. But it's a good movie. This movie is coming on nearly 40 years old, and it still can resonate. That is a great sign of something that's just going to be around forever. And I was having a discussion the other day. This is probably with a lot of these remakes, is that they're insincere cash grabs, and they might make the company a couple of $1 million, but they're never going to last. Nothing's going to resonate with them, as well as the originals did, or at least enough that they, people wanted to remake them.
Yeah.
No one's going to want to remake the 2014 Robocop. Probably don't even want to watch it again, except us.
So I was going to say that the chiasmus of Robocop, the perfectly symmetrical film, there's one point where I'm maybe questioning if it really is symmetrical here. So we're up to point J. Robocop causes property damage in the name of law and order. And then the counterpoint will be later on, the bad guys cause property damage in the name of chaos. So, okay, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a little vague, but I'll buy it for $1. It's one of those it is very much that kind of watching Wizard of Oz to Dark Side of the Moon. How much is it just you projecting? You want to find this structure in it, so you're finding it.
Well, I have been thinking about that in regards to we've talked about this before. Like our prime example is like Maggie May Fisher's take on Robocop, and it's good to look at alternate takes and alternate views on a movie. They're very subjective. I personally like to, with analysis, especially what we're talking about, like the themes of like anti-corporatism, the humanity of Robocop, Jesus allegories and stuff. In an academical sense, like going to the sources, going to interviews with Verhoeven and Neumeier and all those kind of things. That's why I love doing the commentary. But it is interesting to see what people do take away from a piece of media and how much they are hit or miss with it to a certain degree. But it's people bring their own baggage into a film, so
yeah,
it's always going to be I've lost my point where I go, but it's very interesting to hear what other people have to say about it.
Yeah. Now, listeners will be glad to know that the nerdy guy, the college student, working at the petrol station, he gets away. He's safe.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I was going to get back to that because I feel a bit lacking in my duties because I forgot to bring up that his name is Spencer Prokop. I'm not sure if that was intentional. And he was actually 30 by the time this came around.
Yeah.
So, 30-year-old college student.
I mean, it happens, but
I know.
yeah.
I know. I'm a mature age student. I shouldn't mock, but
I know I'm nearly 30 and I'll be studying a mechanics course, and I'm going to be surrounded by these bloody gangly ass teenage boys.
Oh god, yeah, they're the worst. Trust me, I once was one. The reason why I definitely wanted to bring this up is he had some pretty interesting credits. He only did a few acting roles, but he actually did a lot of writing roles.
Oh.
For TV series and like animes and such.
Oh, okay.
As a voice actor, he ended up working on the original Deus Ex, playing characters called Curly, Harold, and Jackson.
It's okay.
And he's done a lot of TV. What is that? Okay, he's done a bit of TV, but he's done and some video games. And yeah, unfortunately, he died in 2009.
When was the first Deus Ex? That's like 90s, I think.
2000.
Oh, okay. Exactly.
I got it right here.
The year 2000.
Yeah, in the year 2000. That sounds like it's the beginning of a movie or something. But
that's not the beginning of a Deus Ex monologue.
Yeah.
In the year 2000, I never asked for this. Yeah, that kind of...
I kind of maybe brought it up so I could put the drop in because it's been a while.
I never asked for this.
Yeah. I hope they make another Deus Ex or they remaster the old one so I can actually play it on a PlayStation 4. Or I mean, I don't know if I get a PlayStation 5, but that's probably where it's gonna go. Yeah.
I do have it on Steam, the original. I find the controls to be a little bit janky on. Okay, it needs a remaster to fix some of the performance issues and some of the jankiness, like
my last note for this minute is: cool dudes don't look at explosions; they just walk away.
I have it written down as cool robots don't look at explosions.
Yeah.
One thing I did like, this is a little bit of punctum, 44 seconds in, there's a ricochet sound effect, which is like straight out of James Bond. The classic,
GoldenEye.
Yeah. So there's not much differences in the script and the book compared to the movie, except for one thing. In the script, it says that Robocop actually steps on the cigarette and then it still explodes. Here we go. It says 221 Robocop steps on the cigarette just before the gas reaches it. The gas floods the pavement around his feet. Suddenly, the Shell station explodes. It's like, okay.
It's just unnecessary.
Well, I think that, so for those who have, haven't watched the movie in a while, it's just the shot in the screen is just a cigarette on the floor, smoking, burning embers. Petrol hits it, boom. I mean, in real life, it would be more about the actual air mix ratio, but as a visual shorthand, it works. But in the book, it actually has a bit where Robo, noticing the cigarette, placed a firm foot on the burning butt, smashing it just before a torrent of gas rushed up and over his shoe. Robo stood there silently. A second passed. He realized he'd got to the cigarette 1.3 seconds too late. What?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Maybe someone's going to explain, actually, the embers will still be hot enough to explode. I don't care.
Oh, I mean, fuel, if you just look at it, it'll explode.
Yeah, I know, but from a visual storytelling point of view, the audience is just going to see, butt extinguished, then it blows up. It's, no. Audiences just go, no, that's stupid. So it was a good change. I do have some commentary notes. So Ed states that the spraying gas stunt nearly cost him his life. When Paul asked why, he said because the stunt guy was so mad at him, he was going to hit him with an axe handle. John also points out that the Emil bit in this section where Robocop's interrogating him was actually the second unit, directed by I got the name of it, Mark Goldblatt, who was an editor on The Terminator. Although he didn't edit Robocop, that was Frank Giolisti. But, and this is where it gets really weird, Mark Goldblatt would then go on to direct The Punisher.
Okay.
The Dolph Lundgren The Punisher.
Okay.
So, wow, what a weird career. He did eventually end up becoming Paul's personal editor in future movies. So, I think he worked on like Total Recall and Showgirls and such. But yeah, he didn't edit this. He directed Second Unit, and he directed potentially one of the worst superhero movies ever made.
Fantastic Four.
So, what a ride. And that's all me noted out.
Okay. One last note is that my beloved Robocup, my mug that looks like Robocop, has lasted many, many years, and, well, no pun intended. Let's pour one out, because I dropped it.
Oh,
I don't know
no.
how... I was pulling it out of the microwave, which is only maybe a foot off the ground. It just flew out. Bone broth
Jesus.
and meat went everywhere. I don't know how it happened.
RSVP Robocup.
RSVP Robocop. And, yeah, that lasted me, I don't know, like 5 years. And I immediately went on eBay looking for another one. There's a second-hand one for 50.
Yeah,
I
I just
drink out of
started to
someone
Google it.
else. Otherwise, yeah, everything else was like $60.
Yo, shit, there's one on, I'm looking at it, it's on DHgate, it's $30 US. Although it'll be 25 if we order 43 of them.
Oh, yeah. We'll just sell it
25
through
each.
Yeah, sell out through our 60 seconds to comply official website, which doesn't exist.
I'm sure we can find something cheaper. No, maybe not. That's.
I'll keep an eye out.
Although I have just found a mug that just says simply on it, remember that time Robocop shot that guy in the dick?
Maybe that's what I need.
It's only $18.
I guess I'm a grown up now and should have like a nice matching mug set like an adult. But
fuck that
but
noise.
Robocop forever, man. Robocop was the best mug. I'll miss you.
Well, maybe we should put an order and get a couple, because I wouldn't mind getting one.
Hell yeah.
Shall we?
That can be our Christmas present to each other. The identical present is.
There we go.
No, but we should actually you pass me the box and then I just pass it back to you. There you go. Merry Christmas.
I found one for 24 US. Oh no, 24 AUD.
The customs of Christmas make no freaking sense. I can't believe that we did the Christmas special We did that, and that
We did
was
a Christmas special.
that was nearly a year ago. What the hell? I'm scared.
I know. I don't know what happened. Well, except that we've been doing this for... God damn it. We've been doing this for almost a year. It's 50 episodes in.
Okay,
50,
okay.
That's
so,
50 episodes of... God damn it.
Yep.
You want to do the thing?
Yes. So, that about covers it. Wait, this isn't my show.
No.
If you would like to subscribe to us on the
No,
YouTube.
no. We're not getting away that easily. We got gaslighting Robocop.
Oh, what? Oh, damn.
So before you do this
I wanted
begins,
to know how far you'd let me go doing the outros before you.
I was almost considering doing it a little bit more.
Okay, gaslighting Robocop.
Alex, how do you feel? I feel fine, Dr. Norton.
This minute begins with Robocop ducking for cover and ends with Rorschach ducking for cover.
But does it? We have been... You might have heard the last episode. We've been talking about a veto system. Now, for the punters at home, we discussed this, and I came up with the idea that if we've got nothing to say about a minute, apart from maybe a snarky comment, we're going to skip it. We can only do it once per episode, because we got so many spare minutes of this damn movie to get through. So, I'm actually happy to veto this particular minute, because the only thing that's really relevant to talk about mostly happens in the next minute.
Yes, I would agree. Because I'm just looking at my notes now going, well, actually, both of these things are just part of one sentence, so...
Yeah, pretty much. What's the point of having a power if we can't abuse it almost immediately?
Exactly.
Although I will say for this particular minute, what the fuck was with that music? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to move straight on to minute 51 of Roboflag.
This minute begins with what might be the only neat transition in the entire film and ends with Roboflag sort of emoting?
Yeah, oh god, that is bad. Norton hand waves away a lot of questions.
Yeah, I like this part of the scene. You know, I thought this was going to...
Yes.
I mean, a lot of it is just boring combat. But there are a few sentences here and there. The conversation between the people behind the scenes, Morton and Sellers and woman from...
Unnamed female associate, yeah.
Pride and Prejudice, yeah. Yeah.
I do like the conversation where it's just like, Norton admits that once the visor's down, the programming takes over. Murphy is kind of along for the ride, not really knowing that he's kind of being shut out.
Yeah.
Which is actually interesting.
That is fascinating, because in the original Robocop, I don't think it really delves too deeply into that. It's just, it's still Murphy in there. They've just given him cybernetic parts. It's not even entirely clear if the face is his face or not.
Well, no, it's actually... I don't mean to sound contradictory, but they actually addressed it in the movie. They wiped his memory, so it's this thing of... They're not even acknowledging that this is Murphy. In fact, you could even see there's like, when Lewis asks him his name, Morton kind of just went, no, forget all that noise. He's a product.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a name. They are fully aware that... Okay, Morton's probably fully aware that this was a guy. He probably doesn't give a shit who his name is, because corporate stooge.
Oh, yeah. What I mean is more that it kind of just almost with that Saturday morning cartoon logic of, okay, now he's a robot. End of story. They don't really dwell too deeply on the more philosophical aspects, I should say.
Oh, yeah, of course. But what I mean is that it's pretty much open and shut that when Robocop turns up, he's just Robocop. He's not Murphy. Murphy is a thing that's buried deep within, and this is actually the part of the movie where we're starting to see that emerge.
Yeah.
His memory is starting to heal, and all his memory is healing enough that he's starting to come out, and we're going to see that a few more times in the next few minutes.
If Cronenberg directed Robocop, I imagine...
we would see so many tubes in brains.
Not only does the mind heal, but the body starts to grow back and regenerate over the metal, making this sort of horrific, organic...
Oh my god, he'd be turning into Tatsuo.
Oh yeah, basically Tetsuo, yeah.
So here's the thing that I now go, so if this is true, then what was the point of that training montage earlier? So we got this nugget of information that once the visor comes down, the programming takes over and Murphy is taking a back seat. But that contradicts the Murphy versus Robots VR simulation where visor down, Murphy is hesitating because he's the human in the machine.
So have they modified him between scenes?
But they don't say that.
Right.
And it also leads to a future contradiction when they finally erase Murphy's pesky emotions, because if his visor's down, he's not going to have them. This is dumb.
He's not really a machine that thinks he's a person and a specific person.
Yeah.
That is a concept played with in Ghost in the Shell quite a bit, actually. But yeah, like, when would you truly ever need to do that? And if you've actually taken a physical, organic person, why would you do that anyway? So, yeah, I think, okay, the use of language here isn't really correct.
It's not good at all.
No. What they're really saying is that there is a seamless integration between man and machine to the point that the human thinks that they're the one doing it. And it's actually very easy to do that. There's so many times in video games where, as cutscenes got better and better and more integrated into the story, you don't realize that it's a cutscene. So there's a few times where I'm steering the character, and it's only when it does something that I don't want it to, they went, oh no, that's it's doing its own thing.
That in gaming, that's it's got a term. I think it's 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 one of those words I can never think of. It's the relationship between control and your brain in regards to intuitive design is really about.
And when it goes wrong, you could feel something in your brain protesting. It's like, no, why is it going left when I'm going right? What?
Oh god, I'm trying to remember what it's called, but yeah, it's basically the relationship between your brain and your movement, your control. So, gaming is a great example for this. So, because in gaming, we are conditioned to push up on the pedal to move forward, back to move back, left, right to turn, things like that. So it becomes a feedback.
Oh, I mean, it's sort of like when they do tests with people with phantom limb syndrome, and so if you're missing one hand, they'll put a mirror there where that hand should be, and the person moves the other hand, and they're looking at both hands, and the brain's like, yeah, seems legit, checks out, 2 hands,
yeah,
good.
Our brains are scarily adaptive for that type of stuff. But yeah, so the funny thing is, our brain piloting a mech suit, as long as the feedback is fine, it should technically be good. It should be, our brain should be fine to adjust to it as long as the feedback's there.
Yeah, so sort of like in the movie Upgrade, very good movie, check it out, I talk about it a lot. But
don't you mean Venom?
Yes, the better version of Venom. Robo Venom. And
starring your favorite from Prometheus.
Yes, not Tom Hardy, but he looks very much like Tom Hardy.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Logan Marshall Green, there we go. LMG. Yeah. He never responded to me on Twitter. Still want to know what your tatties are about, mate. Please help me. It's for Prometheus. So, yeah, in Upgrade, Gray is fighting against the program a little bit. Then when he lets it take control, that's when things move a lot more smoothly. So, and I think in previous episodes we have talked about brain implants and stuff like that. So, it's not beyond the realm of possibility that you could put something in someone's head that gives them all these superpowers, and they feel like, yeah, I'm really badass and I'm in control. But eventually, and I don't think it really does come down to it. It doesn't come out in the story this way, where there's a moment where the machine wants to do something that Murphy doesn't. I don't think it actually, it's not like that. I don't think there's a big reveal like that at any point in the movie, but we shall see when we get there.
If there is, I have absolutely no moment. Like, he doesn't even have the directive for malfunction until literally like the last 10 minutes of the film. So even that is not even addressed enough to make it a thing.
Yeah.
like something to react to. But for me, it always comes back to the thing where the whole crux of this argument regarding Murphy's emotions and is tied into the machinery. You know, he's too emotional, and the anxiety of like him going out into public leads to a shutdown, and it's like, oh crap, we have to raise emotions to make him function. But if that's what's happening when his visor's down,
it sets up this argument, you know, in these few scenes that we've been reviewing lately. It seems to be this emotion versus logic, machinery versus man, that ultimately don't pay off into anything other than a robbery CGI fight with big old Ed 209s. But yeah, I think there was something interesting here. They were building up to something that ultimately doesn't pan out, but I think that would be interesting that you see in the original Robocop, the issue was, you know, he goes out there and he's interacting with the kids and stuff, and he's just, you know, an absolute cold robot, stay out of trouble, that kind of thing. So, because this is such a social media driven age, this is such a publicity obsessed CEO, then it comes into question of, well, we need him not only to be this ultimate law enforcement officer, but we need him to be charismatic and we need humanity. You know, we need to be kind of Superman, basically.
Well, the crux of the argument is we don't want robots patrolling the streets, but then you've essentially created what is essentially a robot. But
but it's fascinating that this movie settled on drones as its big argument. Remember when drones were a big thing, you know?
To be fair, yeah.
Even had an entire album. You know, I think up until about 2015, that was like the big fear of drone warfare is the future and oh, it's scary. And then social media rotted everyone's brains and COVID happened. Drones are like the last thing anyone gives a shit about. No one thinks about drones except for Amazon delivery. So nowadays, I think if you were to make a Robocop, if I were personally to make a Robocop, I think it would be a statement on social media, on police brutality, even race relations. I think there's a lot of...
Robocop in the age of BLM would be fascinating, especially if you did have a black Robocop.
Exactly. So you could be talking about the freedom of Robocop and his inner struggle there, but also the perceived humanity. So you have this other layer there where, he's like this charismatic robot man. Everyone loves him. Yeah, but none of that's real. It's all an illusion.
Yeah, I mean, for a movie that actually brings up the whole like idea of the fakeness of news, that's literally the whole point of Sam Jack's whole segment at the beginning. You know, just done a lot less subtly than the original fucking movie.
Literally yelling at us, literally yelling into the camera.
That's the other problem with this movie, is that it's one of those movies that's constantly smacking upside the head going, commentary, we do big think stuff.
The original Robocop, it's not exactly a scalpel. It is a hammer.
No.
But the remake is a fucking carnival hammer. No, mallet, yeah. Carnival.
It's a mallet, yes.
Big old Harley Quinn looking mallet, yeah.
It's not even strong enough to hit the dinghy bell at the top, though, as well.
No, it's one of those inflatable ones you get at the Royal Show. Make a squeaky noise.
Oh, that is actually a really perfect analogy. This is an inflatable clown. That...
Never have I so badly wanted one of those to do some Foley work with.
Oh, Jesus. Now I'm just imagining, you know, that scene in Our Robocop with the trash panda thing. It's just an inflatable Robocop in black spandex. That's just a weird, interesting way to use a sex doll. I might cut all this out. That's just wrong. I'm keeping it in.
So I think that's everything for this minute. They tried. Gold star, guys. You tried.
Well, maybe not a gold star. Well, let's give him at least a bronze for effort. You've got a bronze for effort. Yeah, I think I'd rather move on to greener pastures.
Yeah, I think we're done.
So, where can the lovely viewers find you?
You can find me at traviandesigns.com, Travian. Right now, you can see my Bane photo shoot
Oh,
at the
yeah.
top there. Very proud of that. It was so you can listen to both of us on
Yes.
Bat Minute, 3
And
episodes
Robin.
of us. Yes, Bat Minute and Robin. Yeah. Yeah. So I took photos. So I had a cosplay of Robin, of Catwoman, but we needed one for the third day because there were 3 episodes per week. I went, well, it was Niall of Batman. It said, could you do a Bane one? Because I love Bane, and I talked about Bane a lot, and it's a costume I've always wanted to do, but went, well, that would look ridiculous on me. But I went for it anyway, and thanks to my friend Sabrina, I think we nailed it. She took the photos, yeah.
I think it came out pretty damn good.
Thank you. I might even wear that to Supernova if Supernova actually happens.
Well, yeah, that's a big if at the moment. We've still got to wear our OCP cop uniforms at some
Still got to
point.
do that. I just need to seal up the edges on that one, but it's ready to go.
Yeah.
And what else? Oh, yeah. So the Instagram, 60 seconds to apply on Instagram, Twitter. I keep forgetting we have Twitter. I keep forgetting Twitter exists.
I go on Twitter and I still forget it exists.
I think that's everything.
Oh. And after you checked all that out, and if you still got time, go check me out at Helios Photos. Sadly, I was just way too busy to take the Bane shoot, but maybe I'll work on a bit of my own poison ivy to counterbalance it. I'm not sure if that's a promise or a threat at this point, but also check me out on Fandom Crossing. I still plan on doing more Kung Pao Into the Minute. Check that out, but more importantly, check us out on Simplecast, Spotify, Apple, Google, YouTube, all those lovely things. If you know of a podcasting platform we're not on, let us know. And in the meantime, like, share, subscribe, rate, and review, all that cool funky stuff. I did see, I think we got a 5-star rating on Apple. No review though, so, but thank you whoever did that. That's awesome. And yeah, feed the algorithm, do all that stuff, and until next time,
Incognito burrito. We won't even give you the context of that. It's what I felt like saying this week. You can't judge me.
No,
Yeah.
no, that's it. And we're out.